Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to my shop. Welcome back to the channel, Busted Radio Garage. Today's episode is going to be on rodent control or mouse control for vehicles in the wintertime. I've received dozens of messages and comments on my posts or videos wanting to know what I do to keep mice out of my cars. And it's pretty simple. It's rather easy, to be honest with you. Full disclosure though, keep in mind I don't keep any type of food in my shop, and it is sealed up tighter than 2 coats of paint in here. Now, I don't live in the city. I actually live on a farm here in northern Kentucky. So we have cattle, donkey, hogs, chickens, you name it, running around here. So we do have yard varmints like anybody else that lives in the country. But I've been fortunate enough on what I do here, I don't have anything in my shop or in my vehicles that I know of. I think I caught 1, maybe 2 mice in my floor traps last winter, but I've never had any feces or anything of that nature in the cars. Now keep in mind, 9 times out of 10, these cars are not covered up. The windows are down, what have you. So if any mice or mouse or mices or whatever were to get in here, they could get in the cars if they wanted to. Also, full disclosure, I'm not a veterinarian. I'm not a mouse expert. I'm none of that nature. This is just basically a suggestion for what works for me. If you need help with this, or give it a shot. Go from there. Maybe your mouse is resistant to what I'm about to show you. I don't know. But this is what I do. If it helps you, that's awesome. Okay? If you're new here, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and be sure to follow us at Busted Radio Garage on Facebook, on Instagram. We're on all of those. So hang tight a minute. Let me get you set up. We'll go from there. Okay, guys, I got it set up here. And these are just the basic things that I use. Ironically enough, you're going to need a cheese grater. It doesn't have to be this in particular cheese grater. This is like $1 at your local dollar store, Dollar General, whatever, okay? Irish Spring soap. I've used multiple soaps over the years. This is the only one that I have had any luck with. The last 10 years in this shop, this is what I've used, never had a problem, okay? You're gonna need some little Dixie cups, preferably something a little bit smaller. I'm gonna cut these down, okay? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna open your soap. Last year I done a similar episode like this, but it was just a screenshot or multiple photos on the internet, and I like to got my teeth kicked in from people that said this didn't work, and they sent me pictures with chew marks on the soap for mice or whatever, but they just opened the door, threw the bar of soap in, shut the door, and said, okay, this is supposed to work. That is not how it works. You got so much area within that car, under the hood, or if it's in the truck, in the back, underneath the seats, whatever. You just don't take this little 1.5 inch by 3 inch bar of soap, throw it in the front floorboard and say, okay, the mice are gonna stay away. That's not gonna work, okay? Take your cheese grater and your soap, and you're gonna get in there and you're just gonna grind this down just like you would a piece of cheese or anything else that you're grating down at the house, okay? Just like that, your Irish Spring is all chopped up or shredded or whatever, okay? Now this is mainly going to be for the cups are mainly for the inner corner of your trunk, inner corners of maybe your truck bed, under the hood, what have you, okay? This is mainly just to keep this stuff from scattering everywhere underneath your hood. Now again, full disclosure on this, you will have to clean this up in the spring. It's not going to go away. It's not going to dissolve, so you're going to have to put in some effort in the spring to clean this mess up with the shop vac, okay? And for most of us that keep our cars clean or in good order, that's not going to be a problem anyhow, all right? Now I'm just going to make a couple of these up just to show you. So what I'll do is I'll just fill the cup up with this grated Irish Spring, okay? Let me grate up a little bit more for the car. keep in mind, guys, if you have your shop or your garage and you got leftover hot dogs laying around or open cans of pop or cookies or whatever you snack on in your shop, and I'm guilty of it myself, okay? You need to throw that stuff away in a trash can with a lid, or just get rid of it altogether when you're done. Because these mice are coming into your garages, your shops, your homes or whatever to seek warmth in the wintertime and to find something to eat. If you take both of those away, they're gonna leave, okay? I have my 5-bent barn directly behind this shop that we use for storage and you know, shelter for our cattle and our donkeys and whatever for the winter time. Now, I'm sure with all their feed pellets and the hay and everything else out there, that barn is plumb full of mice in the winter time, but they never bother the cars. So I'm telling you, this works. And if you want to leave a negative comment or whatever, just keep it to yourself. Try this for a winter and then come back to me and kick me in the teeth. Last year it was just brutal. All these people sending me pictures again of a bar of soap just thrown in their trunk or whatever and say, okay, Mills, this didn't work. Put in some effort, okay? So let me get you over to the car. Hold on a second. Okay guys, I got everything moved over here to the RT. I've got the hood open. I would love to do a section on the trunk of this, but it's just buried in storage and I can't get to it. But the, you know what? I might be able to try to get that open real quick. But the same application applies as under the hood, okay? Now what I do is I take these cups. Now there's gonna be multiple cups for each car, okay? But this gives you the basic idea. 9 times out of 10, if you have a mouse invasion or a mouse entrance into your car, it's gonna be from somewhere underneath the hood, okay? They're gonna get in somewhere unless you keep your windows down like I do. But again, this has never been a problem for me, so I don't care and don't worry about it. But what I do for the wintertime is I take the shredded Irish Spring, like I showed you over there a second ago, and I put it back in these holes, like so, back in here. If anybody's ever had a mouse nest in your car, they're gonna be in the corner of the trunk or here in these cubbies underneath the hood of the car. You've seen them, I know you have. So I'll put one here, and then I'll take another cup and I'll put it back here behind the fill bottle here for the washer fluid, okay? And normally I'll put maybe another one here, another one in back here by the battery down in this hole. And then I take the rest of this shredded Irish Spring, and again, you're gonna have to vacuum this up in the spring, okay? You're gonna have to put in some effort yourself. But I would rather have this than a mouse chewing all up on the inside of my car, all right? So I will take a handful of this shredded Irish Spring, and I just put a little bit in the car. All right? Now mice generally hang along the edge of the car, or the edge of anything, a wall. That's why they call them rat runs. They'll hang around the edge of a surface, whether it be a wall or a car, what have you. Well, as you can see, I'm buried in over there too, but you get the basic idea of it. You want to deter them away from this car as much as possible. So I'll get another handful and I'll put it over here on the floor. Some back there on the back floorboard. Now generally what I do is I'll put another cup on the back seat, one on each of the front seats. Now I know that looks terrible and a lot of you are probably cringing and going, oh man, I'm not doing that, that's crazy, what have you. But your car's in storage. It's not sitting in a car show. You're not having it judged sitting in your own garage. If you're like me or most of the other car guys, you're not gonna touch that car anymore for the winter unless you're working on it, okay? It's just gonna sit under a cover and that's it. And then next spring or summer, you're gonna go open it up and you're gonna find a wire chewed, you're gonna find a mouse nest, or you're gonna find turds all over the car, what have you. I'm telling you, if you do this, you're gonna be just fine, okay? Now again, unless you have one of them, you know, soap resistant or chemical resistant mice in your area, you may, I don't know. Again, put in a little bit of effort to protect your vehicles and be done with it. The cost of repairing something chewed up is gonna be a lot more than a $1.50 bar of soap in 5 minutes of your time to do what I just did, okay? Now granted, I go to a little more extensive. I'll put another couple cups up here, and that's gonna be the end of it. Now if I do a pickup truck, like my D150 here, is the same principle, okay? You're just gonna find spots in the corner where these mice are gonna be hanging out, something like there, maybe up by your intake, or back in here somewhere. And up in the cab, I'll stick 1 or 2 cups behind my seat, back here, 1 in each floorboard, maybe 1 in that cup holder or wherever, put a little bit on the floor, and they're not gonna bother this truck. Same thing with the back. Now granted, mine's got a cover on it and the tailgate and what have you, but you know, put 1 in each corner in the back by the cab corners or the corners of the bed, 1 or 2 back here by the back where the tailgate is, and be done with it. They're not gonna fool with the car anymore. Now I've heard of guys saying, you know, why don't you use mothballs? Or I've never had any luck with mothballs, to be honest with you. I've never tried smashing them and throwing them in the car. I was at a car event, I don't know, 10 years ago, and there was an elderly gentleman there, and I just asked him, say, hey, look, what do you do to keep the mice out of your vehicle? I said, I've tried stuffing dryer sheets under my seats and whatever, and as you guys know, they just chew those and put them in the nest. He's like, let me tell you something, you get you some Irish Spring soap, grind it up on a cheese grater, and do exactly what I just did, and you won't have a problem. Well, it's been 10 years and I haven't had a problem. So I'll pass that on to you. You do with that information what you wish. Again, I'm not a veterinarian, I'm not, you know, a miceologist or whatever, but this is what works for me. Now, to be completely honest, we also do, let me get back in here, pick a spot, it don't really matter. We'll leave 7 or 8 traps in this garage throughout the winter time. We'll put one like say here, and 1 on down 30 or 40 feet, put another one, and 1 back there in that corner. This is fake food, so they're not gonna bother it, I don't think. But and that's it. And I think, like I said, last winter, I think we may have trapped 1 mouse, maybe 2 in here, and that was for the whole winter. So I'll take that as a win. But we never had any evidence of any mice in the cars. Again, no feces, they didn't stink, there wasn't any nest that, you know, to speak of, what have you. So hopefully this information helps you. Again, I'm Chris with Busted Radio Garage. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscription, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Make sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And show you something here real quick. It is a mess. I'm waiting on some body bushings for Homer's suspension before I put this in the car, but this has all been wire wheeled down, clean, painted, sealed, and we'll be getting this back in Homer here before long. Again, it's kind of a mess in here because we've been working on this between this and my real job, I guess. And well, that's going to be it. I appreciate you stopping in. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.